Hello, everybody. Get your coffee, get your drinks, get situated. We're going to have a bunch of chats in a minute, and you will continue to hear the sound of my voice. I'm just waiting for the kettle to stop kettling, and then we'll start. Okay. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Good. So we are doing this thing, and it is Sunday all day long, and I already have a bad connection. Would you look at that? I don't think it's hit YouTube yet. Just a little bit. Okay. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Where are you at? How you doing there? How is the weather where you are? Yoda. And we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. You could still do Seasons of the Muse at the link down below. If you have any questions about that, leave it in the chat too. Let me see. What else are we going to be doing today? So, Seasons of the Muse takes you here. 17 days left for that bad boy. And then if we go up here, we could look at the Black Star script, which is already going to change. I've added 3 episodes to this first season here that aren't in the book, actually. So I'm trying to decide if, when I do the rewrite of the book, if I'm going to be adding the stuff from the show. This is the conundrum we find ourselves in here today. Trying to figure out which one of those things we're going to be doing. Oh, I don't want to do that. That was wrong. Hang on. Sorry, I just accidentally opened Photoshop. And then it's gone. Okay, cool. This is the one I wanted to hit, and that's the one I wanted to do. Okay, so that's what's going on today, guys. We're going to talk, because I did get the original Black Star books out of storage. I don't have all of them here. There are some that are missing, but that's okay. We will get those, and we will. Oh, okay, thank you. And we will go over these. Did you still want this one right now?
Oh, I do, but if that was
No,
the
here,
first
yeah,
one,
take it.
okay.
Yeah, no, I got. It's okay. Thank you. And we're gonna go over those and look through those. We might as well talk about Twin Peaks, since I finished the rewatch of that. So if you guys want to ramble on about Twin Peaks, we can. We could do some tarot readings and talk about what this week holds for us here. My God, the sound of my voice is driving me crazy. I hope you guys like it better than I do. Alrighty then, let's see what is going on over in this neck of the woods. Now, as most of you know, the first 20 minutes of any live stream is more yakety yak and just doing the thing until notifications go out and everybody gets into it and realizes that it's actually happening. So with that said, for those of you here, if you have any questions about anything at all, go ahead and ask them now. Here is this again. Kind of close, kind of far away. You guys get the drift there. But yeah, since we were talking about this, I'll do a little thing here. I have decided that what I want to do with the narration, because a lot of the story of Black Star is told through narration, especially like the history of the characters, and when they go someplace, the history of the place, yada yada yada. So what I wanted to do was have like this kind of Greek chorus, letting you guys know information. And I'm sure this has been done many different times in many different ways, but there was a old British soap called Coronation Street, and I believe it's still on. And I did this like deep dive watch on it because I got hooked on it. And in the 60s, when the show started, they had these 3 old ladies. And this wasn't necessarily like their part. Like they weren't like necessarily the Greek chorus or the Fates or anything like that. But there were 3 of them, and one of them was super crotchety and just like a real cantankerous, like, fucker, you know? And then one was like her opposite and would always like try to see the best in everybody. And then there was one who was kind of slow, kind of out of it, and would just like kind of agree with either one of them. Like someone would say something bad and she would go, oh, and then the other one would say like the nice thing about the person, and she would go like, oh, okay, and do all this stuff. And then the reason why it stuck with me so bad, because I really don't remember anything else about the early episodes of that show. Like someone got ran over by a car, I think. Yeah, that's all I remember really. And the thing that sticks out was that the lady who didn't talk much in real life ended up dying. And on the show, like they wrote her on the show that she had died. Like she like just didn't show up for the little meeting of the 3 biddies. And it was so heavy. And it was so funny because like she had like the smallest part out of the 3 women, but it was a part that like was needed to like be the what do you call it, the levity, I guess, of the 2 going back and forth. And it was so good. It was so powerful. And God, I watched that show forever ago. Obviously not when it was in its first run, but that stuck with me. And yeah, so I kind of wanted to do something like that. So when, like, the only way the audience would know that Jonathan might be faking his British accent and that Elizabeth might be running around with older men, and that like Detective Lucas is only in Black Star because like he couldn't hack it in the city, you know. And the like Eugene Wellington is a total swarmy piece of crap with have you seen his wife? Oh my god. Like stuff like that. Oh, and that Michael is a homosexual. And just like all of the like little dirt on the town, you know? And a lot of the narration in the book is, I guess, very gossipy now that I think about it, just giving you like all sorts of really like gossipy information on the town. So there you go. Gossipy, gossipy, gossipy. So that's one thing that I'm adding to the first season script. And then the other thing I'm adding to it is a few more scenes with Lucas. And also, for those of you who remember, like at the end of each book, there was a clue. There would be a clue page that would give you a little hint as to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So like each book had clue number 1, clue number 2, clue number 3. And I always thought that when the time came, those clues would be littered through the show. And so I was trying to think of how to do it, and I'm thinking that Lucas will just get phone calls with this voice that you are unsure of who it is that gives him these like little phrases that don't necessarily make much sense at the time. And there was a while when I was like, oh, they should be text messages. And then I'm like, eh. And then I was like, maybe they'll just be like on little pieces of paper that he finds. But the phone in the show is such a big thing. Like, it's such an important part. I mean, everything from that first one to like, oh, everything's gonna fall here. I fucked up. To like this guy, you know, it's like the red phone is such a, it's like a character on its own. So I might just do it like that. But anyway, because one of the bits of feedback I got back, and more I talk about it with people, the more they concur, is that especially in the beginning, because I'm introducing all these characters, it's kind of tricky to realize who the main character is. But as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Lucas is in most of the scenes. I think Cheney is actually in. I don't know if he's in more scenes. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd have to go and count the scenes, but it's either Lucas, Jonathan, or Cheney that has the most scenes in this first little chunk. Let me see. But, like, Lucas is obviously, as it goes, going to be in more scenes than anybody. So yeah. So that's pretty fun. As far as, we don't need to talk about that. But yeah, so I was going to show you some of the old Black Star books. Let me see here. We can start with the original 5-episode books that we did. Yeah, and look at that. So for the first 2.5 seasons, I was still going by that name there. So that's the episode 1 book. That is episode 2. This is episode 3, and as you can see, he is carrying a head. So that's a thing. Here is 4. Now, going back, if I were to do this cover again, I think I would make the hand and the pistol white. Because you can't really see what's happening there. I realized my love of silhouettes kind of ruined some of these covers. And it's funny because, like, online, like if you're like looking at this in Photoshop, it pops. But the second it gets printed on something, it looks a bit rough. This one, for the final episode of the first full season, the silhouette hand looked okay because the background was really light. But like with this one, the background is a little darker, so it makes the silhouette almost look like you can't even see it. It was a bad choice on my part. Bad choice. But yeah, so that is the first season book covers, and then when we did the complete season, this was what the book cover was. And so it was kind of cool. You had like the hardwood floor, and we did a white silhouette there, and that worked out, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. So yeah, so each one of these books had 5 episode books in it. See what I'm saying? So when we're doing the show, each season of the vertical series will be 1 episode book, if that makes sense. Because it's a microdrama, so if you take the first season of a microdrama, you would almost have the length of a TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. So that worked out. And then we did the smaller size paperbacks of the first season for the Secret Society of Black Stars. Like when I was talking about gamifying the reading and social sharing of Black Star with the badges and all that stuff, these books were the prizes that we gave away to the people who did all that stuff. Like, so, and then this is when I was the CC Waller. So yeah, Secret Society of Black Stars exclusive printing of Black Star Canyon Season 1, Episode 2 by CC Wall. See? And then we would do the next episode on the back. And that's how that was done. So, let me see what's going on over here. So now I'm going to show you guys the next season. So 1, 2, 3, 4, here, or 5. So here we go. So the first one is this guy. fun. Little going fishing sign. Then we had this one, which is a severed hand with the letter E carved in it. Then we had this one. This is season 2, episode 3, and this is the opening of the red door. Okay. And then episode 4 is the return of a character, but looking a little different. And then the 5th episode here is Harry sitting in the warm, wet, what was it called? The wet, warm, tasty, and salty, I think is what he calls it. For those of you who don't know, Prince Harry, the dog of the Kensingtons, becomes like a very important character in the 2nd season of the book. And then we have the complete 2nd season book. Now, the silhouettes on this one look a lot better than when I'm just like holding the book. When I see it on screen, that looks way better. That looks really good. And those are those books. Huh. That's interesting. Why does it do that? Yeah, the silhouettes pop way better when I look at it on there. Let me see what that says. I'm actually really curious now. When a corpse of a young woman is found in Black Star Canyon, it starts a chain of events that threatens all the inhabitants and even the town itself. Detectives Lucas and Cheney can't seem to unravel the mystery fast enough as more and more people continue to be killed. Oof, that's a bit heavy. And then what does it say here? Things have changed. People have died. Some people find themselves while others become lost. Some hide secrets while others have theirs exposed. A new evil lurks in the woods, with the sheriff's station almost decimated and a serial killer on the loose. How will the people of Black Star Canyon be safe? Ooh, that sounds delicious. Okay, so then we have the 3rd season books, and we start off with a smoking gun. Now, you guys remember me talking about my issues with guns on the covers of things. But here we go. That's the 2nd book in this series that had a gun on the cover. Then we have this horrific looking individual on episode 2 of season 3. This was actually the first book that I changed my name to CC Wall on there. So that's interesting. Then we have the waterfall, Black Star Falls. Then we got the noose for episode 4 in season 3. And then we have the spiral staircase, which is a lot of fun. What is up, Jimmy? How you doing? Oh, and I can't wait to show you guys the other thing I'm going to show you in a minute. So the 3rd season of the books it was really heavy because it's like basically the Empire Strikes Back of the thing. So it was the biggest book. It was, there was just a lot going on, a lot of new characters, a lot of characters leaving, a lot of them coming or whatever. And so this was the cover for the 3rd season. So it was like a heart like that and a spade like that. Wow. I'm reading these like blurbs on the back. It's just like a darkness has enshrouded Black Star Canyon. Old terrors from the town resurface. A horror from the woods has been unleashed, as well as one inside the sheriff's station. Black Star Canyon is doomed. Man, I'm not really selling this as like a fun, happy thing. Okay, so the next thing, season 4 of the books. I'm missing the last book, but it has the cover on the back there. Now, what I wanted to show you guys, which is hysterical, I'm going to try to find it on my phone and show it to you. So, I mean, this came out, when did this come out? This was 2013, I think. So here we are. So this is a masked killer that is now in Black Star Canyon. Okay, I wish I had a better picture of it. There's kind of a picture of the mask on the season book there, if you want to see it. But, so here's the mask, okay? Somebody sent this to me the other day, since talk of Black Star has surfaced. So, let me see. So, there's a movie called, what's it fucking called? The Mask He Wears, okay? And this is what the killer looks like in the mask he wears, okay? And here's the mask of Norm. Oh, I just spoiled it. But yeah, you find out pretty early on. So it's good that the people who made the mask he wears were Black Star fans. That makes me feel okay. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. So here's the first season book, or the first episode book for season 4. Episode 2. This is a great cover. Episode 3. The Black Star Cafe. Love this cover too. Episode 4. And then the last episode of the 4th season was that guy there. Yeah, I love doing the cover art with these. That was like almost the funnest part. And then here's the season 4 cover. A madman is out to destroy Detective Lucas in Black Star Canyon. Lucas has cursed the town. Everyone will feel it. No one is safe. No one can hide. Wow. I really just made that awful. And then we never made paperback copies of the 5th season books. They were just ebooks. So the books for the 5th season were all like, I don't want to say fire, but like there was smoke in all of the books. Like smoke was on it was like the through line of all of the episodes. But yeah, so I will find the versions of those, like the ebook covers, and show you guys those at a later date. And then show you, because after that happened, we went through a rebranding of the books and tried, like, this one marketing person. And here's the thing, guys. Marketing people have good ideas some of the time. They're not always good. But they're the first person that, like, I met with and talked to or whatever. They wanted or they recommended that I drop the Black Star Canyon titles and come up with like titles that are specific to the books to make them more novel like and stuff. So, I think the first season was still called Black Star Canyon. And then the second season, I think the second season was called Severed Hands. And then the third season became The Creature in the Woods. And then the fourth season became Masked Murder. And that might have happened. Did that happen before? Nicky Jam. Hello. I'm trying to remember if that happened before the last season came out. No, it didn't. And I can't remember what the last season book was called. Then that was a horrible idea. But the one thing they did do, they wanted to color code the books together so they all looked more like a series together. So if you saw the second book, you would know it was a part of that series kind of thing. So that was a vaguely good idea. Then there was, I'm trying to remember the name of the show. There was a show that came on. What was the show where, sorry, I've been AWOL. I've been working crazy much lately. You're good. You're back. We found you. What was that show where there were tapes? It was like a kids mystery show. Not a kids, but like a teen mystery drama. There was some goofy looking kid with a backpack and he would wear it really tight and high and he was supposed to be like the cute guy on the show. And she made him like a tape of her. The dead girl made him a tape and he had to try to like solve something. 13 Reasons Why. Okay, so that show, the next like person who was working on like trying to repackage Black Star to put the books out and get like TV interest in it, wanted to use all of the the front art. Like, here's the thing, the fans of the book loved the covers. Like, I think the covers sold the books, like just the artwork in general. I think that made people like the series. But anyone who was in the publishing business or in marketing hated the covers. They thought they made the books look like you couldn't tell what genre the book was by looking at the covers. And that whole thing is so stupid. Like, just like, well, covers, like every genre has specific and we'll get to that in a minute because oh my gosh, we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, so they wanted to do something that looked like 13 Reasons Why. So the first book was not called Black Star Canyon anymore. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I think it was called They Will Die or All Will Die or something like that. And because for those of you who read the books, you know there's a character that they call Hoodie, that's like this evil character that wears a black hoodie. And I guess in that show, someone wears a hoodie or something, maybe. I don't remember. So they wanted to like push that. So they had Hoodie on the cover and it was like a photograph cover. I'm sure I have all of this stuff somewhere on a drive. But anyway, so we did that and it was as you would expect it to be. But like, we did all the covers like that. So Severed Hands, Oh wait, actually, the Severed Hands book didn't become Severed Hands until that. When we did the original change, the second book was called Wet, Warm, Tasty, Salty, or whatever Prince Harry liked. I can't remember what that was called. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Creature in the Woods, Mass Murder. Was the final book out? I can't remember if the final book was out. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and then finally after we did the back to we had to have had the fifth book because like we did the Black Star season 5 episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so all of this had to have happened after. So then the final person we talked to was like, okay, you got to package this and be very genre specific. And I should have marketed it as a horror series because it is like there are some horrific elements in it. But I never thought of them as more horrific or more horror genre than most other things. So I'm like, oh, well, it's a mystery. So they're like, okay, so we need to make this fall like the other mystery books. So if you see the books on Amazon now, they're put together like a mystery series. And the problem is that most people who read mysteries like are not used to the horrific shit that I'm putting in the books. And so it was not well received like that. But it was Black Star Murder, Black Star Killer, Black Star Creature, Black Star Revenge, Black Star Ablaze. Because that was the other thing. This guy came in and he's like, I can't believe you took the Black Star branding off of the books. That's such a huge mistake. Blah, 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 blah. So that's how that all went. And then after that, I was like, fuck it. Like, I really don't give a shit. Like, just taking advice from people and changing things up every fucking 6 months to a year to try to, like, generate interest in the books just seemed... I feel like the most successful the books were when I just trusted, like, my instincts with these. Not that I, like, have the best instincts in the world, but, like, the artwork was as much Black Star Canyon as Black Star Canyon was, so I should have just left it. Because the books never did as good again as they did when they were like that. So, what are you going to do? Okay. And here we go. Let's try to get caught up on comments here. I can understand color matching. Oh, yeah, we hit that. I have a teenager, dude. I know all the shows. Wallows is a better use of Dylan's time. Is Dylan the guy from 13 Reasons Why, and is Wallows a different show? Let me see. You can't tell what genre the cover art makes the books look like. Says a marketing person working for an industry that has now turned all covers into that very concept. For real, right? For real. A friend of mine starts most of her books in each series with a word. For example, for her crime procedurals, it's dead. Can you do similar, but with black? I guess I could. I don't know if I'd want to. Like, you mean like the first word on the first page of the book? Like each sentence, like the first sentence of a book starts with a word? That's interesting. That is an interesting. There we go. Dylan is the star and the co-frontman for Wallows. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing that he was in a band. Yeah, tight backpack kid. That's all I remember him as. Like his backpack was so tight on him. Very tight backpack. The title, like Dead Alibi, Dead and Gone. Oh, well, yeah, because that's like how they are right now. Like Black Star Murder, Black Star Killer, Black Star Creature, Black Star. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And then I did that with like the Dead Dame books, like those hard boiled detective ones I did. But yeah, there's. So, did you guys watch Twin Peaks or not? Am I going to talk about Twin Peaks now? I don't have to. I can keep that in my pocket. We don't have to talk about Judy. No, we will not be talking about Judy. But if you guys did, we could talk about it. So I watched the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks from like the 89, 91 seasons, whatever. And then watched Fire Walk with Me again. And then watched The Return for the second time. I watched The Return when it first aired. And this was my second watch of it. And I can't believe I never watched it again. That was really bizarre. But I remember when it was on, I was really pissed at how long it was taking to get Cooper to where Cooper was supposed to be. But I did remember how excited I was when he finally did. And that was like a big hooray moment. So that's interesting. But I bet a lot of people gave up on it. I'm starting my 1,500 words a day project today. Oh, you got this. What's the project? What are you working on? You're going to kill it. Ding, 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 ding. The one thing I will say, after watching The Return, the Twin Peaks Return, the idea of doing a microdrama seems refreshing because there was a lot on that show that took forever. And the idea of me having to like make everything really small, like really fast pace, that is delicious. I really like that idea. Oh, Murakami inspired. It's about a guy who moves to a new town. Simplified. Very nice. Good job. Murakami, dude. There you go. Just remember, as long as nothing happens, it will be considered literary fiction. If anything happens and there's any kind of plot involved, you're gonna have to put it into a genre. Yes. There you go. So just make sure nothing happens. And I'm still I'm still editing the podcasts I did with Bucks, so hopefully I will have that up sometime this week. Yeah, that's a whole thing. Then I broke that rule with my novel. Stuff happens, kind of. Yep. Stuff will happen. You got to be very careful. You have to be very careful about stuff happening. What is the book you've read where the least amount of things happen? Not that it's a bad book, but after you read it, you're like, fuck. Like, absolutely nothing happened in that book. What book is that? Give me some good examples of a book where nothing happens. I know you guys know them. Dun 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 dun. So, besides the return being very long, and I feel like it could have been a lot shorter, like as far as like episode lengths, not the length of the episode, but I mean, it was 18 episodes, and the last episode probably shouldn't have happened. I know there's a lot of like hardcore, like Twin Peaks fans that are like, no, the last episode had to happen because of this and this. I don't want to give spoilers unless I'm going to give spoilers, but I don't think you needed it. And I feel like if you cut out that episode, you probably could have upped the special effects budget to make at least the ending of episode 17 not look as silly. Some of the visual effects in the return looked a bit bad, like a bit like mid-90s sci-fi channel, which is crazy because it was in 2017. Wow, 2017. What a simpler time, sort of. Hear the wind sing. Yeah, that's such good. Like, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, his first 3 books I really like, but I don't think anything happens in them, and I can't really remember anything that happens in them. Well, then you picked a good person to be inspired by for your novel. Pinball 1973 I really liked. I think we've talked about this before. I wonder if that real big one he wrote, the IQ something something, is it IQ 84? If anything happens in that. Because if not, if nothing happens in that book, that is a very big book to have nothing happen in. Bastard, how's it going? When does your drawing start to become original? I've been drawing and I've noticed I only draw portraits, and what's worse is I could only draw with references. Well, if your portraits are original, then that's okay. I would guess to just start drawing other things. Like if the only thing you do is portraits and you feel like you don't have like an original style or anything like that, I would say start drawing things that make you feel uncomfortable. Start drawing things that you feel like you won't be able to do, and then start drawing those things. Or if you are drawing portraits, start drawing portraits that you're not using references for. Or try to take 4 different people. Like if you're going to use reference photos, just as an experiment, take like 4 different people and go, okay, I'm going to put their nose, their eyes, this person's mouth. The left side will have this person's hair and the right side will have that person's hair. And then do something like that. And have not to be all super Picasso about it, but have the people's, they don't have to all be looking at the same direction. Like, do it separately and just see like what you can come up with, and just keep, yeah, do a patchwork person. That's a good example of it. But just keep like pushing yourself a little further. Like whatever you feel comfortable with doing, do something that's a little more uncomfortable, and keep going until you have something developed that you realize. Because it's not going to happen overnight. You have to just keep fucking with it and doing stuff until, and usually you'll realize you have a style when somebody points it out to you. Like you won't know it because to you, you're just doing the thing that you always do. And then someone will go, oh, I like how in all these pictures, blah, 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 blah. And then it'll like hit you like a bolt of lightning and you'll be like, oh my God, I have a style. You know what I'm saying? But good question. I hope that's helpful. Pinball 73, second novel. He does something and I really like it too. Yeah, like I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I read that, and I read a bunch of his books all at the same, not at the same time, but one right after another. And they all kind of just like blur together. What was the one with the, there was like a picture in the beginning of it. Was it of a dog or a pig or a sheep? Was that it? I don't know. You're probably going to tell me. I have a feeling you know his stuff better than I do. But that one was good too. But yeah, so anyway, so the Twin Peaks thing, like Wild Sheep Chase. There you go. That's a What was the book with the sheep? Okay, got it. That's like Homer calling information, trying to get the number for 911. Oh my God. What else on Twin Peaks didn't I love? There was a lot of things that were hard to love. But anyway, it's a fun rabbit hole to go down. Yeah, Hawk is great. He's amazing. But the Dougie stuff took forever. And the Mitchum brothers, I'm not a fan of James Belushi. And he killed it. He was so good on that show. There was a lot of great stuff, but I feel like people who've been waiting the 25 years for the show to come back were kind of let down. I think on second watch, I liked it way better than I used time when it was like coming out new. Super frustrating. But anyway. So yeah, that was Twin Peaks talk. I like the scene where you could hear the waitress. Yeah, Cole and Shelley. Yeah, that was in season 2. That was great. I was really bummed out that, here's a spoiler, that they didn't end up together. I was really hoping that would be a thing. Thanks, man. I got a quick Bukowski portrait I did. Yeah. I'd love to see it. That'd be cool. Do. I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, that was good shit. Okay, and I guess we will start wrapping this up here. I have a coaching call at 1:30. Sorry. Just doing a little Black Star production crap. But yeah, so anyway, Seasons of the Muse, 17 days left. There you go. Links down below. And Black Star is happening. My novel is on hold until the Black Star stuff starts moving. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Not starting soon, ending soon. I'm going to be doing more recaps of like what's happening. Maybe I'll just do more live streams talking about like public live streams here, talking about what's going on with putting the thing together, the show together, because like every day it's different. Every day something new happens. So I've been trying to do daily member streams, and I mean, I don't think I posted a video at all last week on the main feed. So I got to fix that. I got to do that podcast episode. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I have to do stuff. Shocker. So we'll get into that more a little bit later. But yeah, so members, I will see you tomorrow. And everybody else, hopefully I'll have a video up this week for you guys. Okay? So join the crew down below. Type hard, everybody. And I will talk to you all at a later date when this is all done. Let's see. How do I do this, guys? Have a good week. Do the thing.